It's alright, don't worry, I'll get it. Yes, come on. It's dangerous. I know, I went to do it all.
Hi, my name's James Sinclair. I'm the Chief Instructor of the United Kingdom Wing Chun Kung Fu Association. In today's video, which is the third of the series of Martial Arts Illustrated video magazines, we're bringing to you today our concept of Wing Chun Kung Fu. You're going to be seeing some Ba Chum Do, the butterfly knives, just done freely, just training regularly, not the form. You're also going to be seeing some wooden dummy, talking about some basic principles in training on the wooden dummy. You're going to be seeing some Chi Sao, some sparring. You're also going to be seeing a little bit of just freehand shadow sparring and movements. A couple of ideas of multiple assailants too. The idea behind Wing Chun is it is a close quarter effective system. We train without the gloves on. So as you'll see, it takes a tremendous amount of control to be able to train at speed and to work with an opponent and to work safely. One of the prime aspects of training in any martial art is respect, and obviously you can't train hard with a person that has no respect for your health, or if you don't respect their health. They come to you healthy, they want to leave healthier and they want to leave more skillful. You're also going to be seeing an example of one of our gradings. You'll see Steve Hazel of our Maidstone branch going for intermediate level grading. In this grading, what we're doing is concentrating on the basic hand skills. In Wing Chun, you may well have heard of the method of training called Chi Sao, and you may obviously, everyone knows of sparring. But a lot of people try to spar and they train for years and years in sparring. They find it very hard to improve and they come to brick walls. Well, in Wing Chun we have our forms, like every other style has cards and patterns, and then we have Chi Sao, and this is our link between our forms and our free sparring. What we're trying to do is develop a training program which we hope is modern, objective and sensible, and is going to be very progressive as well. And what we're finding is that we're developing students' ability to see shapes, see techniques, recognise on which gate, in which position they are relative to their opponent. From that kind of position, they can then try to transfer this across to sparring. So in this third level grading that you see today, you'll see the elements that we're trying to take across into sparring. So what we're trying to do is have these weapons, take these tools. There is no point in getting into a fight if you've got nothing to fight with or something to fight for. At the end of the day, somebody will fight with no ability if they've got something to fight for. But it's far better to go into a situation now you've got something to fight with too. And this is a very important aspect of martial art training. Part of the philosophy of training is that you always remain common sense and always remain true to yourself in that respect. The other thing you're going to be seeing is just a little bit of body conditioning, because at the end of the day, if you're not fit, then you're not fit enough to run away from that fight, let alone face that situation. And I think you have to be objective and sensible and realise that in any situation, if you couldn't deal with that, then you should have got away. And no matter how much training you got, you'll always try to get away. You're a human, you can make a mistake. You make a mistake in a fight, it's a painful process. You make a mistake in your everyday life, we can live with it, we can get over it. In a fighting situation, you may not. So you always have this objectivity and this sensibility when you face and confront a situation. Always try to get yourself away from it. But bar that, you also have to understand that these mistakes may not be to the fact that you actually get beaten, but you may well get hit. You'll limit the danger to your head. Nobody can train their brain. You can only train the common sense of your brain, the intelligence. You can't train your brain to take power. So what we do is we condition the body, we condition the back, we condition the arms, we condition the neck, the areas that are likely to get struck. At all costs you protect your head. So you'll see these kind of elements. They're not full power, not complete total power. We do train with bare fists onto the body too, because that's what you're going to be confronting. You're also going to be see some shadow sparring. In the shadow sparring, what you're trying to do is just let your imagination go wild. If you're looking at modern training techniques, we call it visualization. So in modern psychology, modern sports sciences and such like, in sports psychology, they'll be referring to something called visualization. Visualization to me is an intellectualized way of saying imagination. Your eyes don't actually see, they actually relay light. It's your brain that makes a picture of that. And so shadow sparring is a very, very important element in any martial art training. And what you're trying to do is let your brain see the moves. Your brain draws patterns, your brain draws neural links, and what you do is you take that to the stage where you can recognize those shapes in a moving and dynamic situation with a person. Your brain will respond much more freely and much more quickly. Everybody does this. It doesn't matter what you do, from traditional boxing, shadow sparring, to martial art patterns of the highest extreme where they're visualizing someone in front of them. We have instructors training sessions every month. The idea of the instructors training session is to keep the standards high, to make sure that any technical points are covered, to encourage people to teach them how to communicate, how to hold a class, basically all the qualities that a person needs. Instruction is about helping others. That's what you're there for. No instructor in his right mind is there just for himself. He's not. He may be doing it for his living, but his only way to really genuinely earn a living and continue to earn a living is to be honest to your students, and the idea is to get your students as good as possible. My dream is to make my students better than myself, of course. Every instructor, any coach in any field would want that. At the end of the day, they're very, very talented. You've seen my senior student, Mark Phillips, just basically giving me a hard session against this tree here. You've seen him sparring with me and working with. He's a very talented martial art, amazing martial art control. He covers most of the sort of like North London area now and teaches there, and he's actually doing quite well and well respected indeed. I find it just an admirable quality that these people who come and follow me around the country, people coming from Lowestoft and Norfolk and Suffolk and Hertfordshire, Birmingham and areas like this, and they're coming down to train with us and have a good spirit and a good manner. Some of these guys can truly fight, they can really do their stuff, but at the end of the day they've stayed nice guys. It's okay to train for a violent situation, but you don't want to get into a violent person's head and lose your own personality and lose your own character. So to me, these instructor sessions keep a level head on people. They give people skills, they give people knowledge, they give people the qualities that it takes to pass this information across to others. If that's what we want to do, we want to spread Wing Chun, we want to make it a style to be recognised, we have to have ability, but we have to be able to express that ability. That is the most important thing, not just by beating people up, not by fighting, surely, but by communication. This is the ultimate skill in this world today. And at the end of the day, these guys are training hard, and you'll see some of them doing some lovely techniques and working with each other. The other elements that you'll see is working with the butterfly knives. When I'm working with the butterfly knives, I'm just doing free training. There is no resemblance to the form. You'll see the empty-handed forms. I wasn't trying any way to do the form, just certain elements of the form. I will be releasing a video through Kickfighting Films. I will be releasing a video, and this video will actually be based on the syllabus of our Wing Chun training. What it will give you is an idea of how to progress in Wing Chun. It's okay to learn the style. If you learn the style in a haphazard way, then you have haphazard Wing Chun. You have a Wing Chun which under pressure folds. What I'm looking for is a dynamic, a sensible and progressive way to train, as I said earlier, where the training leads from one stage to another, and each stage you get a noticeable and almost measurable improvement. If we can do that and make the training more scientific and make the training more efficient, then we're going to produce better Wing Chun practitioners. We have an 8 foot long pole approximately. Because of the logistics of it being so heavy, it's actually tapered. So it goes from 1.5 inches this end to 3/4 inch this end. So basically, it halves in size. This end is your fulcrum or your lever, just like in a car park you see these big blocks moving here. So the end is the tip that you use, hence why it's called a 6.5 point pole. It's only a few movements actually possible with something this long. You don't really need much. You try to use the tip to get power to block, bounce and strike. So you just go forward, down, in and out, pull, turn, all the time using the wrist and the power to get the power towards the end of the pole. That's what we're looking for.